Good Sunday morning, everybody. This is Dave with Nomadic e-biking adventures. Can you kind of see the haze in the air? I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, but we've got let me see, 17 to 31 mile an hour winds coming off of the Gulf of America, out of the due south, and just on the other side of these buildings here on the road, the waves are crashing into the beach. And it's sending a salt spray into the air. You can really smell it this morning. So we're getting a lot of salt spray. Waves are pretty decent right now. There's a rip current warning, and crazy as it is, yeah, there are people that go out and swim. It's 66 degrees right now at 8:45 in the morning. And you say, Dave, what are you doing out at 8:45 in the morning? Well, today is a weather changing day. I'm back in my hooded sweatshirt and sweatpants. Wind chill right now is like 59 degrees. And we got a backpack full of food for our deer. And today it's supposed to head up to 71. Well, we're not going to see 50 degrees for at least 10 days. In fact, they were saying today's high of 71 may become a low of 17. So the temperature is going to be mirrored 71 to 17. Today is going to be a big day for morning. Big day for everybody across the country that's experiencing ice and snow, and up north exploding trees. I think that phenomenon is over already because it's way below zero now. So it looks like people are getting out for the last time early. Morning. Yeah, you can just see the salt spray in the air. But we're out early also because right around 12 to 1 o'clock, that front is going to be screaming through the area. And when I say screaming, wind gusts are supposed to be 45 miles an hour. Wind is going to switch around from the south to the northwest. And that may possibly be our last e-bike ride for quite a while. Every day this week, coming week, is supposed to get below freezing. I can feel the salt spray on my face. Every once in a while, it's like somebody's misting a water bottle in my face. Yeah, it's going to be brutally cold for Florida standards. I don't know how this wind is going to affect the battery today. I'm not really too concerned about it. We got a south wind which is coming directly at my 3 o'clock position, and I think all the way to the trail camera. We may have the tree line like this kind of help with the wind gusts. You see the Old Glory out there. It's more of a southeast right now, but it's gonna gradually, by the time we get back home, it'll be more southerly. So we're coming up on 9 o'clock in the morning, and we should be back by 11. The rain and thunderstorms. Oh, and by the way, we're under a tornado watch also. There's a possibility, 5% possibility of a tornado. Crazy weather. But yeah, they're calling for about an inch of rain before the front pushes all the way through this afternoon and early evening. I'm going to try to stay off the main roads, just because you never know if a gust of wind is going to push your bike out of the bike lane. Cold weather and everything, this is the last set of videos, unless we go out during the week. But we may end up pushing some older videos from last year to fill in the gap. And if we do go out, it's going to be a much shorter video. Goodies we got for the deer. Well, we've got 2 canisters of deer corn. We've got a cucumber and a bag of lettuce. A loaf of wheat bread that's going moldy. Well, that little food supply should last them a few days. I've been seeing like 3 or 4 deer, and they were does most of the time. They've been showing up. There's been 1 buck that's been passing through. Looks like he's at least a 6-pointer. I couldn't blow it up that much. So weather radar, future radar is showing the rain, the big rain with thunderstorms and everything by 1 o'clock. Now there's probably some rain coming in just before that, so that's why we want to get home by, we should be home by 11 o'clock. And I suspect we'll probably have some rain shortly after that. Yeah, hard to believe it's going to be 71 here today, 66 already. Looks like we're running right into the wind right now. back in my hometown in San Antonio, they're getting slapped with a ice storm right now. I think they only have like a quarter-inch. But many years ago, when I first moved there, they got hit with an ice storm, and they don't have winter equipment to plow or anything like that, so it's a challenge. I think right now they're getting better and better because it's not as bad. I remember the first year I was in San Antonio, they got hit with an ice storm. They have a lot of elevated flyovers at the interstate, and they have more and more now. But they can't use any salt on the roadways because it would drain into the aquifer, which is their drinking water. So the best thing that they can do is put down a brine solution, pre-treat the roads a little bit. But anyways, years ago when that ice storm hit, they closed the Interstate 10 down for 4 days. 4 days to let everything melt. And Interstate 10 was closed down from San Antonio to El Paso, which is like 500 miles. Crazy. 4 days. right into the wind right now. I've got the 14 amp hour battery in. That should give us a little over 20. Might be a little bit less riding into the wind today, but I think we'll make up for that a little bit. Heading on the way back, we'll have the wind to our back. And we'll probably be about 10 pounds lighter with all the food for the deer. Yeah, it's so windy, I didn't even bring my drone today. Didn't even bring the drone. Everything's so light, the wind would catch it and just fling it. My hands, they're really, you know how you get sweat palms? You can feel the moisture from the salt spray. Still feel it out there. may have to wash down my bike, get that salt spray off. Somebody riding around in short sleeves. Morning. Well, this tree line, I guess, is helping a little bit. Kind of blocking the wind. There's this guy on the golf cart again. I think he's a maintenance guy. believe this is going to be as warm as it's going to be for at least the next 10 days. I haven't even seen the forecast past that. And there's talk of another snowstorm in Florida. And I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but they said the possibility of up to 7 inches in this area. That would be something. Well, I haven't seen any pictures this morning from this camera. The deer are probably hunkering down. They don't like the wind. Alright, be right back. Alright, here we go. Just got done deploying deer corn. You know, they're edibles for the deer when this cold front comes through. It's right at 9 miles that we in 34 minutes. This is the second half of this video. Temperatures jumped up to 69 degrees right now. Heading for 71 today, eventually, before the storm front comes through the area. 71 is not going to be seen for quite a while after this. In fact, this may be my last ride going around here. And we're heading back down Gales Trail here. I just thought about something. You know, I put out a loaf of wheat bread that's molding. As soon as it starts raining, it's going to be all soggy. So we'll see how that works out for them. I'm sure eventually they'll probably peck away at it and eat it. If not, it'll give something for the mice to chew on. So we got the 14 amp hour battery in. We may back this all the way back and forth without replacing it. I know the 10 amp hour, we barely made it to that trail camera location. Actually, we got some pretty good time at 9 miles. I thought it was like 13 miles last time, but I think we came up a different way. So we'll see if they're gonna like the cucumber and the lettuce. So as I mentioned in my previous video, today is a big change. We're heading to 71, and they're forecasting a low, I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night, of 17. So that 71 mirrored is going to be 17. That's quite a difference. And it's 9:30 right now. We're under a tornado watch as this front comes through. Other parts of the country are getting an ice storm, and some places 1 foot to 2 feet of snow. And I mentioned it earlier, but there's a haze in the air right now, and that haze is coming from the Gulf of America. We got a south wind coming in, and the waves are pretty high and they're crashing up against the beach, and it spews salt spray into the air, and with the strong winds, it's just carrying that salt spray inland. We're probably about a mile or two from the beach, and yeah, you can feel it in the hands. I mean, my hands are like real moist and sticky from the salt, and you can kind of smell the salt spray also. So we should get a pretty good push behind us right now. I think the wind is on the way to the trail camera. We were fighting the wind right in our face, and now I think we've got the wind to our back. So yeah, this may be our last ride for a while. If we do get out, it's going to be very short. Especially if every night for the next 10 nights is supposed to be below freezing. There's a couple nights that's going to be in the 20s, and supposedly there's one night it's going to be down to 17. It is a big hotel. Decided to take this trail back this way because they got some some tree line here that'll help break up the high winds. Wind gusts today, they were saying it's supposed to get up to 45 miles an hour. That's why I'm kind of staying off the main roads, because I don't want to get hit sideways with that and blow me into traffic that I can't control. I do have my sweatpants and hooded sweatshirt on. They're calling for an inch of rain today when that front comes through. It's Sunday, so this industrial park is pretty dead. The only traffic is going back and forth to Conservation Park. Left a little early today. Quarter to 10 right now. Well, still got a green light. Made that one. I think that's the first time I was able to get across that intersection without stopping. You can really start seeing that fog. It's a salt spray. let's see. We're down to one bar. Should make it back, but well, if it's going to be cold all next week, that'll give me a chance to maybe go see if I can get my tire pressure sensors replaced. Let's take our little shortcut. It might be a little bit faster. Head right along the beach. saw my old church in Boerne, Texas got hit with the ice storm, and they put out a Facebook post not come to church, but instead you're supposed to go online and watch the service virtually. Oh, you can feel it. Ooh, chillier. Closer to the coast. The coast is right over on the other side of the houses here. We'll get you down to the beach eventually. See this guy walking every morning. Not too many people on the beach today. Yesterday there was quite a few. It really wasn't that bad yesterday. The sun peeked out a little bit. Get those winter tans. It's going to be close. Would that be funny if I lost battery right when I got to the house? Well, I got to the house, that would be great. But if we got there short and the battery died, that would be... Oh, think positive there, Dave. These people riding around in shorts and a t-shirt yet. Unless they're all Canadians. Canucks. guys. We'll catch you a little later. Stay warm.